Hello, I'm Courtney, what's up? And today I'm going to be doing the Intimidating TBR Tag. So I was tagged by Sam from Sam the Book Dragon to do this tag, and thank you so much, Sam, for tagging me to do this. Pretty much in this tag you talk about all the books on your TBR that you need to read. You just talk about all the books that you haven't read yet. If you don't know what TBR stands for to be read. So a lot of booktubers make TBR videos and they'll talk about the books they want to read for that month. So let's get started with the tag, shall we? The first question is, what book have you been unable to finish? There are a lot of books that I have started, but then I'll put down, but I think the most shameful one I'm most ashamed of putting down is gotta be Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I tried reading this back in June and I read like 30 pages, but I had to put it down because I wasn't feeling it. Like, I wasn't intrigued by the story, and I felt really bad because I was like, I really want to read this, but not right now. I want to finish this book. Like, I want to pick it up again and read it and read the whole thing. But most of the time when I put a book down, there's a good chance I'm never going to pick it up again. But it's on my shelf, so I see it all the time. So I'm just like, I have to read you one day, but not today. The next question is, what book have you yet to read because you just haven't had the time? For this, I'm gonna go with, if I can get you out, there we go, The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I've almost owned this book for a year now, and I still haven't read it yet, and I'm just like, Courtney, you need to read this because you'll be reading all the Sarah J. Maas books, and this is the only one I haven't read yet, and it's making me very sad that I haven't read this yet, and I'm gonna read it. I want to read this before Empire Storms, okay? It's just that I have so many other books that I want to read first, and this one, I never pick it up, and I'm just like, I want to read you. I want to read you. I need to read you, because I know you have answers to my questions, and I never pick it up though, and I'm just like, I need to read you. I'm gonna say this right now, I'm gonna read this before Empire Storms, because if I don't, I'm going to hate myself because I need to read this. Like, I definitely need to read this before Empire Storms. Like, I should have read this before Queen of Shadows, but you know, I didn't do that. But now, I gotta read it now. The next question is, what book have you yet to read because it's a sequel? For this, I'm gonna go with The Rose Society by Marie Lu. The Rose Society is the sequel to The Young Elites, which I read back in March of 2015, I think. I read it a long time ago. Like, it's been over a year since I read it. And The Rose Society has been out for almost a year now, and I still haven't picked it up. I honestly think I'm not gonna pick up The Rose Society because I remember nothing from The Young Elites, and it's not like I loved it either. Like, I mean, it was a good book, but it wasn't like legend good, because I love the Legend trilogy. In some ways, I do want to pick up The Rose Society because I'm just like, I remember that end, so I'm just like, okay, but I need to know with how that situation is resolved if you know what happens at the end of The Young Elites. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know when I'm ever gonna read you, and I honestly don't feel like reading you, so I'm just not going to. So maybe one day I'll pick up The Rose Society, but for now, I'm not going to. The next question is, what book have you yet to read because it's brand new? I wouldn't consider this brand new, but I recently just bought it a few days ago, and that is, if I can get it out, you can probably tell what I'm picking up, but it's The Siren by Kiara Cass. This book came out back in January, and I recently just got it. I wasn't gonna read this book, but last week I was in Target, and I was in the book section because, you know, I always be going to the book section in Target, and this was there, and I was just like, is this a sign that I should get it? And then I did, and I have no regrets, and I'm gonna read this because now I own it, so I feel like I have to read it now. The next question is, what book have you yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it? I think for this, I have to go with, get out, the sequels to the Summer I Turned Pretty. I don't know what the other book's called. Oh, It's Not Summer Without You. That one, the sequel to this. Yeah, I haven't read that yet. I read this last week during BookTubeathon, and I didn't film a review on it because if I filmed a review, it would just be me yelling about the main character in the story. I was so excited to read this book because I've heard good things about these books. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to read this during BookTubeathon. And then I did read it. And then I didn't like it. Like, I mean, it wasn't a terrible book, but like for a majority of it, I was just like, why is this happening? Don't get me wrong, I don't regret reading this book because I wanted to read it. And there were some good parts to this book, but I just had so many problems with the main character, and honestly, I don't think I could read from her again, because she just kept making all the wrong decisions and she was so stupid. The next question is, what book have you yet to read because you're just not in the mood for it? I don't have a specific book, but I have a genre, and that is contemporary. After reading The Summer I Turned Pretty, my love for contemporaries has kind of just like gone downhill, because I feel like for some reason a lot of the contemporaries I've been reading lately, the main character is just so stupid and just makes the weirdest decisions. I don't know why I just keep reading books with main characters who make these really dumb decisions and think this is how their crush feels about them and make stupid decisions. Like, I don't get it. Like, they make these decisions and then they find out they're wrong and they're just like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? And I'm just like, see, this is what you get for making that stupid decision. If I'm going to read a contemporary book, I'm not gonna pick up something like this. I'm about to find something like Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda, because that book is the cutest thing in the world. Well, this was, like I've already said before, I did not have the best time reading this book, so I want to read more things like Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. The next question is, what book have you yet to read because it's just huge? For this, I'm gonna go with, oh, it's over here, but it's the first book in the Infernal Devices series, Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. Now, don't get me wrong, I have read books about this size, right, but for some reason, every time I see a Cassandra Clare book, I'm just like, that book is so huge. And I know I've read books around that size, but for some reason I feel like Cassandra Clare books are just 10 times bigger. I feel like I should read at least one of Cassandra Clare's books. So if I'm gonna read one of her books, it's most likely going to be this, because I've heard so many good things about Will and Tessa and Jem, and I'm just like, I want to know your story. I want to learn about this super duper complicated love triangle. The next question is, what book have you yet to read because it was a cover buy that turned out to have poor reviews? This is hard. I don't know. What has bad reviews? See, I never really look at reviews, so I never really know if a book has really good reviews or really bad ones. I usually look at reviews after I read a book. If I had to choose a book, I'm gonna go with Off the Page by Jodi Picoult and Samantha Van Leer. I'm not sure if this has the best reviews, but I've heard like okay things about it. Not like terrible things, but like not the best either. And I actually tried reading this back in December, but I gave up after like 60 pages because I was so confused. And if I'm gonna read this, I'm definitely gonna have to read the companion novel Between the Lines, because while reading this, I was like, none of this makes sense. I don't understand this story at all. The next question is, what is the most intimidating book in your TBR pile? I don't know why I didn't choose this book for the huge book on my TBR, but Percy Jackson Greek Heroes by Rick Riordan. I tried reading this book back in like June, I think, and I read like 20 pages. Like, my bookmark is still in the book, and I stopped reading it, and I don't know why I did, because I never give up on Rick Riordan books, but I gave up on this one, and I hate myself for giving up on it. I want to read this beast because I want to learn about the Greek heroes and also read from Percy, but I don't know when I'm gonna read it because this is so huge, and every time I see it on my bookshelf, I'm just like, I'm gonna read it one day, because I read Percy Jackson Greek Gods, even though it took me 3 months. I feel terrible that I gave up on this, but this book is so huge. Like, look at this. This is so heavy, and it's just, oh man, look how big this is. This is so challenging, and honestly, I don't know how I read Percy Jackson Greek Gods, but I mean, it did take me 3 months. So, if I'm gonna read this, it's gonna take me 50 million years. And the last question is, who do you tag? I am going to tag A Reader's World because I'm pretty sure she hasn't done this tag yet, because this morning I was trying to figure out who I wanted to tag, and like, all my BookTube friends have done this tag already, and I'm just like, why has everyone done this? I'm so late onto this party, but I'm pretty sure A Reader's World. I really hope you haven't done this yet, because if you have, then I'm gonna feel bad, but you know, you'll just get tagged again, an honorary tag. But that, my friends, was the Intimidating TBR tag, and I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I'm Courtney, and I'll see you all next time with a new video up soon, so I will see you then. So bye. Yo!